How's it going, everyone? Thanks for being here. Today I have a 40-minute yoga class for you. We're gonna warm up the body through some sun salutations. We will then go through a standing sequence that helps you develop your focus. We'll also practice a standing balancing pose called Warrior 3. Finally, we'll end with some dynamic stretches on the floor before our final rest in Shavasana. So meet me at the top of your yoga mat, standing, where we'll set some intentions before we get started. Let's go ahead and come up to the top of the mat. Bring your hands to your heart. Think of your heart being like your home. And close your eyes when you get to the top of the mat and feel the bottoms of your feet. Just start to sway side to side until you find more stillness. Evenly distribute the weight in your feet. So feel the weight in the heels, the outer edges, and the toes and the toe mounds. Set an intention that you want to work with today on your yoga mat and off of your mat. A little piece of insight, something that we could all connect to today, is the new moon. And I learned that in astrology, it's in Pisces. So all that I really know about Pisces is that it's a deeply emotional sign. So maybe you can use this practice today to tune into some of your deep feelings. Maybe it's kind of hard to connect to that right away. But wherever your intention lies, your attention will follow. So that might have sounded a little confusing. I'll just say it again. When you set an intention, your attention follows that. So maybe the intention for you today is to go deeper into your emotions, practicing feeling, getting better at feeling, and just giving yourself the space and permission to go deep with yourself and connect. Go ahead and open your eyes. Bring your hands down to the sides with the fingers spread wide and the palms open, giving a lot of energy, attention to your hands. Grow tall through the spine. Squeeze the shoulders up to the ears and then roll them down the back. Let the shoulder blades come down to the low back. It's all about intention. So when I say shoulder blades down to the low back, they're not actually going to touch the low back, but we're just sending it there because we're working with the energetic body when we do yoga. On your inhale, reach your arms out wide, stretch out wide, and then up above over your head. Look up at the top of your hands. Press your palms together. Take a deep breath in here. Stretch through the arms. Stay grounded and rooted in the feet. And then on the exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. We're gonna do that again. Reach the arms out wide like wings, all the way up. Press the palms together. This time, bend your knees and then hinge from your hips as you sweep the hands out to the sides and down for a forward fold. Take a couple deep breaths here, settling into your forward fold. Make sure your knees are bent pretty generously here so that we can ease our way into the hamstrings, stretching behind the legs. Send a little bit more of your weight into your heels and into the hips. Release the neck and head. And on your next inhale, slide your hands up along your shins and then to the tops of your thighs. Once your hands have landed on your thighs, pull your shoulder heads away from your ears, almost like you're growing a long neck, like a turtle coming out of its shell. Reach through the crown of your head, which is the very top of your head, and your gaze is straight down at the ground. Keep the weight in the heels and keep a bend in your knees. Hug the elbows in close, and then press the chest forward just slightly. Spread the sit bones, creating a nice tabletop with your back. You want it to be nice and flat, as if, or for someone to come and set a cup on top of your back, and it should be able to stay there. You could even just test it out with any object. Okay, deep breath in here. And then exhale, you're gonna reach your hands to the ground and then walk your feet back all the way into a plank. Adjust your hands and your feet so you have about a foot between your hands and the top of the mat. Hug the low belly ribs in to activate your core, and then shift your weight over so that your shoulders are over your wrists. You're gonna hold here for one more deep breath. And on the exhale, use the knees if you need to. Otherwise, hug the elbows in and lower all the way down to the ground. See if you can meet the belly and the chest at the same time. Take the elbows underneath the shoulders. Lift the chest and the head. Untuck your toes. Push into your mat with the top of your feet. Keep the fingers spread wide. Find stillness in your body and just notice the breath and the way that the body feels in this mini back bend. Keep pressing up and away from the ground and pulling the chest forward. Let's take a deep breath in and then exhale, lower the chest down, frame your rib cage with your hands, and then tuck the toes under. Use the knees again if you need to, otherwise press up through plank and then back to downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths in down dog. Now I'm just going through this first round slowly with several breaths, but the next rounds that we do, we're gonna practice them 1 breath, 1 movement to really get a little bit more of a quicker pace here to build heat in the body, getting us prepared and ready for the standing sequence and our challenge pose. So from downward facing dog, we're gonna reach the right leg up high, point your toes of your right foot, and then open up the hip. It's like you wanna stack your right hip on top of your left, straighten out both arms, especially that left arm. And then lift the leg up as high as feels comfortable and to where maybe you can keep your left heel on the ground as well. Deep breath in here, and then exhale, come up onto the toes of the back foot. Reach your shoulders over your wrist, and then hug the knee into the nose. Flex the right foot and try to plant it up as high as you can in between your hands. Okay, so your back heel is lifted right now. Find out what you need to do to get the whole foot to plant on the ground, to plant on your mat. So that might be a shorter stance, and take a wider stance so that the left and the right foot are a little bit wider, further apart from each other, creating a nice wide stance spacing for you to find stability before rising up, okay? So press into the outer edge of your left foot, bend into the front right knee, press into your front right heel. And then rise up for Warrior One. Hold here in Warrior One, and as you're holding, see if you can hug your left hip forward, towards the front of the mat, so that your hips are squaring off, while pressing down through that left foot, keeping the left leg straight, and a bend in the front right leg. Okay, let's take a deep breath in here, smile. And then exhale, sweep the hands down to frame your right foot, turn onto the back toes, and then step back for plank pose. Deep breath in here. And then exhale, hug the elbows in, lower down, belly and chest. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Stack them up and then find a lift. And then exhale, bring the hands to frame your ribcage, press up and back to downward facing dog. You can pedal out the feet here, pressing one heel down at a time. And bring your attention back to your intention for showing up today on the yoga mat. We're going to move into the left side now. So inhale, lift the left leg high, point the toe, open up the hip, straighten out both arms. And then come up onto the toes of the right foot, shift the weight over the wrists, hug the left knee in, and then step that foot up as high as you can. Separate the feet, shorten your stance so that your right foot can plant onto the mat. Bend into the front left knee and rise up when you feel stable. Don't try to rise up if you're feeling wobbly. You want to feel really grounded in the feet before you rise up. Hug your right hip in. And it's a little bit challenging to actually start to get the hips to be squared off. It just takes time, it takes practice. Let's take a deep breath in together through the nose. And then exhale, sweep the hands down to frame your foot, turn on the back toes, step back into plank. And a couple options here. You can come down into child's pose and take a few deep breaths, or you can go through your vinyasa, lowering down to the ground. Inhale, lift the chest, and back to downward facing dog. So we are all meeting in down dog right now. Once there, look forward in between your hands, and then slowly, because it creates this practice of mindfulness, walk to the top of your mat. Meet in forward fold. Relax the head and neck and your arms and hands. Taking a few deep breaths here. Just enjoy the pose and the stretch in the back of the legs. Maybe you take some cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. It helps to release even more tension from the body. And sometimes even just a nice way to let go of some thoughts that are bugging you. And just get back to your breath, back to the connectedness with your inner being, that deeper self. All right, let's release the arms, let them hang, and then just slowly roll up the spine all the way to standing or Tadasana, which means mountain pose in Sanskrit. Okay, open up the palms, and we're gonna go through that on the right and the left side with one breath and one movement. Connect to your intention. We always want to flow with intention, with purpose. Okay, inhale, arms out wide and up, press the palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, reach for the mat, and then walk or step your feet back into plank. Lower all the way down to the ground. Elbows underneath you. Inhale, Sphinx pose, reach through the chest. Exhale, lower down, frame your ribcage, press up and back to downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, lift the right leg up high. Exhale, step it through, plant the left foot. Rise up, warrior one. Right side. Exhale, sweep the hands down and step back into a plank or take a rest in child's pose. Inhale, Sphinx. Exhale, back to downward facing dog, and we'll all meet in down dog. Inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, sweep it through to the top. Plant your foundation. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, sweep it down, step back. Maybe you just simply meet us in downward facing dog or go through the vinyasa and back to down dog. Look forward and walk forward to a fold, legs together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale for one more fold. Maybe you hug yourself in closer to your legs. And then inhale, reach out to the sides as you rise up for mountain pose. Exhale, hands to your heart. Connect to your intention. Connect to your breath and your body. Notice the way that you feel after that round. And then we'll do it one more time before we go into the next phase of our sequence. So inhale, sweep the hands out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, reach down, step back, lower down. Inhale, Sphinx pose, lift the chest. Exhale, press up and back to down dog. And right away, inhale, reach the right leg high, shift the weight forward. Exhale, step it through, plant the feet. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, sweep it down, vinyasa. Inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, step it through, plant the feet. Inhale, warrior one, nice and strong. Exhale, sweep the hands to frame the foot. Step back, your choice. We'll meet in down dog. And then look forward and walk forward. Keep breathing in and out to make it to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up with a flat back on your inhale. And exhale, hands to your heart, close your eyes. Feel your heart beating in your chest. Try to find that connection. I like to imagine that this is the space where the soul comes through. Go ahead and blink your eyes open. And then take your hands to your hips. We're gonna lift the left leg and step it back into crescent lunge. Find your balance here. Separate the feet so you have a wider stance. This helps you feel a little bit more grounded and not so wobbly. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, nice straight arms. Feel that stretch in the front hip flexor and the top of the quad by straightening out that front leg, but keep the heel lifted and on the toes. Sit a little deeper and press into your right heel. Okay, inhale through this crescent lunge. And on the exhale, you're gonna lower your knee down and your hands. You can adjust your body so you're in a little bit of a deeper low lunge here by taking your left foot back behind you. And then you're gonna shift the weight back into the hips towards the left heel and forward fold over the front right leg, half splits or monkey pose. Flex your right foot and then point your right foot, bring your toes to the ground, send the hips back to come into a flexed foot. And you just get a little bit of a different stretch here as you move through. Stretching the top of the foot and the ankle, and then more of the behind the calf and the knee, or in the calf and behind the knee. We're gonna shift our weight back into the front right heel, bend the right knee, tuck the toes under, and then lift the back leg off of the ground. From here, you're gonna inhale, reach the arms up, and then open the arms out wide for a twist. Try to look back at your right hand. And then we're gonna sweep the hands down to frame your foot. Shorten your stance, and then straighten out the front right leg, coming into pyramid pose. So both the toes are reaching towards the front. The left toes are kind of front and the left corner a little bit. Find what feels good in your body. Deep breath in and out. And in. And then out. As you exhale, turn your toes to the length of your mat and bring both the toes toward one another, having a wide-legged stance here in a forward fold. Maybe you adjust your feet and your legs so that you're in a wider stance or shorter, just whatever you want to stretch, whatever feels good. On your inhale, bring your fingertips to the ground and then lift through the upper body so that you have a flat back. And on the exhale, fold forward and in. This time as you inhale, pay attention to your vision, like where you're looking. Follow the floor up as you shift your weight more into the fingertips and lift up halfway. And we'll fold forward one more time. This time you're gonna walk your hands over to your left foot, frame your foot, step it back, go through a vinyasa or meet in downward facing dog. Maybe you wanna straighten out the elbows and your low back feels good to stretch a little deeper. Frame your rib cage, press up and back, downward facing dog. This time lift your left foot, but keep the foot flexed. And then shift it forward, step in between your hands. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Feel the stretch in the right hip flexor this time. And see if you can notice the difference between the left and the right from when we were in this pose on the other side. Find your balance, and on the exhale, lower your back knee down. Sweep the hands down. Come into a deep or low lunge stretch. You can untuck the back toes. And then straighten out the front leg. Half splits. Shift forward, pointing the toes. See if you can touch the toes to the mat. And then hips back to the right heel. We're gonna come up and bend into the front left knee, tuck the back toes under, and then lift up the right knee off the ground. We'll inhale, rise up for crescent, and then turn to the left side, looking at the left hand. You're gonna open up the hands, look forward again, and then bring the hands to frame the foot, shorten the stance, straighten out the front left leg for pyramid pose. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe you come on the fingertips. Both legs are straight as you fold over the front left leg. Do that again. Inhale, lift the chest. And this time on the exhale, turn the toes towards the length of the mat, forward fold. This time when you stretch in this forward fold, we're gonna twist. So bring the left hand in the middle of your feet, and then reach your right arm up above for a twist to the right. Deep breath in here, lengthen out through the spine, the legs, both arms. And then exhale, sweep that arm down, nice and slow, mindfully. Inhale, switch, twist to the left this time. Try to keep the hips squared off so that that the hips are pointed forward to that length side of the mat. Gaze is up to the top left hand, or the ceiling, or the sky if you're outside. And on the exhale, sweep the hand down, keep the arms straight, nice and slow, fingers spread. And we'll do it again. Inhale, reach the left arm up, twist. And exhale, bring it down. Walk your hands over to the right foot this time. Bend into the front right knee. Step your foot back, go through a vinyasa or meet in downward facing dog. Again, if you want to straighten out the arms this time when you lift up through cobra, you can do that depending on how the low back feels, if it's warmed up enough. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. We're going to reach the right leg up this time, flex the right foot, and then step it forward in between your hands. And then we're going to step the left leg to meet with the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Rise up with the flat back all the way to Tadasana. Press the palms together and then exhale, hands to your heart. We're gonna do that flow, one breath, one movement. So let's reach the hands down first to begin. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the feet back. Lower through a vinyasa. Maybe you want to try up dog this time, but that's only if you know and you've done it before. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches high. Exhale, step it through to the top. Stay in crescent lunge and then rise up, reach the arms up. Exhale, lower your back knee down to touch the ground. And then we're gonna stretch into this deep low lunge. Deep breath in. And exhale, half splits. And we'll do it again. Inhale, lift the chest, come into a deep low lunge. And exhale, half splits. Inhale, come forward, lift the back knee off the ground and reach the arms up. Exhale, twist to the right, look at your right hand. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, frame the foot, shorten the stance, pyramid pose. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, lift the head and chest. This time, exhale, fold forward into that wide-legged fold. Toes pointed towards the length of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, come on the fingertips. Reach to the crown of your head. And fold. Inhale, lift, one more time. This time, exhale, turn to the left, bend into the front left knee, step back, and let's go straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through to the top. Low, and then we're gonna reach up crescent lunge, left side. Exhale, lower the back knee down. Reach the hands down. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, shift the weight back, half monkey. Back toes can be tucked or untucked. Whatever feels good on your knee, do that. Inhale, lift the chest. Low lunge. Exhale, half splits. This time, inhale, lift the back knee, come into crescent lunge, reach the arms up. And exhale, turn and twist to the left side, hugging the left thigh in towards the center of the body, the core. Look at the left hand. Inhale, reach both arms up forward. And then exhale, sweep the hands to frame the foot. Shorten your stance, pyramid pose. Both legs are straight. Inhale, halfway lift, reach to the crown of the head. And fold. Inhale, lift one more time. And turn to a wide-legged fold. Let's go right into that twist. So place the left hand. Inhale, twist to the right, reach the arm up to the sky. Exhale, let it slide all the way down to the ground. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach the arm up wide, twist. Exhale, sweep it down. Replace your left hand with your right hand, and then inhale, left side twist. Exhale, slowly let the hand fold down to the mat. Inhale, reach it up to the sky. And exhale, sweep it down to meet with your other hand and walk your hands over to frame your right foot this time. And then step the feet together, forward fold. To complete the cycle, we'll come into a halfway lift and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and then continue to rise all the way to standing. Press the palms. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, nice work. We're gonna go through a little balancing practice now. So we're gonna work warrior 3. Hands on your hips, bend the knees, and then let your left foot come behind you. Start with the toe on the mat. Lean the chest forward from the hips up. Reach through the crown of your head. We did a lot of this halfway lift practice, so find that in your body. And then maybe you stay here or you start to lift the left leg behind you, but don't go past where the hips are level. So if your left hip starts to open up to the side, that means you've lifted the back leg too high. So bring it back down, square the hips off so that they're level, they're aligned, and then flex your left foot. Your hands can stay at your hips or maybe come to your heart or even reach out in front. Let's take a couple deep breaths while holding this pose. Press into the front right heel. One more deep breath in. And then exhale, shift the weight up to standing. Meet the feet together. Hands to your hips. We'll do the other side. So press into the front left foot, bend both of the knees, and then shift your hips, your torso forward from the hips. We're hinging from the hips. You start with your toe to the back of the mat, and then you can start to lift and raise that right leg. Maybe you find a new arm variation. Maybe you want to clasp your hands and straighten out the arms, or you can reach them out in front of you or goalposts. Wherever you are, connect to your breath. Hold, keep a bend in the front left knee. And on the inhale, step the feet together and shake out both legs. And maybe the arms and hands too. Okay, awesome job. Let's come down onto the mat for some stretches here. This is gonna be a little flow dynamic type of stretch. We're gonna start in reverse tabletop. So fingertips are pointed to your heels and plant your hands. You're gonna push into your heel and try to keep both of your feet planted on the ground as you lift your hips up, and then even let the head come back a little bit. But we don't wanna let it hang behind us. Just keep the muscles in the neck working to keep the head lifted and in alignment with the rest of the body, or with the shoulders. And then on the exhale, lower your hips down and fold over, drape your torso over your thighs. Hold here for a couple breaths. And then you can turn this into a flow, one breath, one movement. So slide your hands back, inhale, reverse tabletop. Exhale, lower the hips, fold over. Let's do that again. Slide the hands back behind you, press up into this reverse table. And then exhale, lower the hips, fold over the legs. So now lift up, and I'll show you the other version of this if you want to try it out. Otherwise, you can hold this forward fold a little longer if that feels really good to you. Or if you like that reverse table, you can hold it too. Otherwise, legs are straight, press into the heels, hands are in the same placement, just the legs are straight when you lift up this time. So inhale, lift the hips up, hug the inner thighs toward one another, and exhale, send the hips down to meet with the ground, and then forward fold over straight legs. Inhale, slide the hands alongside the legs on the mat. Inhale, keep it going, lift the hips. On the exhale, for the entire exhale, fold forward. And then let's do it for the last time. Inhale, lift up, reverse plank. Exhale, forward fold. And now we're gonna hold it here in the forward fold. So stay here and take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Use this time to let your face relax. And then you'll slowly press yourself up with your hands and lift the chest. We're gonna take a wide-legged forward fold now before bridge pose and Shavasana. So come maybe down onto your forearms, flex the feet, point the toes, kind of just go through both sides. Maybe you wanna alternate. You could even lift your chest and then turn towards one leg and fold over that leg. Gives you a little bit of a different stretch in the legs and kind of gives you more of a side bend and a twist. And you walk your hands over to the other side. And we'll come up through center, meet on our backs. Bend the knees, plant the feet, and then lift the hips up, bridge pose. Relax the low belly, and then breathe into that space. Let the palms open up to the ceiling. Close the eyes, keep the chin into the chest. Squeeze the glutes and then lift the hips up just a little bit higher for this last deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly lower the vertebrae down one at a time until your back lands. Take the knees over to the left side. Breathe it in to the center and exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center. Hug the knees into the chest and then relax the legs down. Shake out the legs. Close your eyes and scan your body from head to toe. I hope that today you're able to feel a little bit more deeply and allow this practice to find its way into the rest of your day, having a positive impact on you and others and the world. Thank you for showing up today and being the change you want to see in the world. See you next week. Namaste.